What's up, everyone? Welcome in to the plane shifter in. I will be your lovely host for tonight, dedicated on this New Year's Eve. I hope you all enjoyed the slideshow and the music. I am looking rather white right now, though. Let me see if I could fix the audio a bit. Not the audio, the lighting. Give me a moment. Here you go. Check out these dinosaurs again. I'm right back. Anyways, I feel this is a little bit better. I'm a little less see-through. So happy New Year's Eve. Let's see. We got about 4 hours on the East Coast of America here before we celebrate our trip around the sun. Alright, so what do we got lined up for tonight? We're going to take a trip, that's right, into the mind of a learna. So let's see. To make that work, we're going to start by checking out some invertebrates today. I hope you all had a happy 2025 and are ready now to bring in the new year, 2026. Here we go. I am rather ghastly tonight, ain't I? Getting back into my physical form. I'm very, very ghastly. Alrighty, here we go. So what can we take a peek at? Let's dive deep into some of these invertebrates that I encountered at Fernbank Museum here recently. They had a really cool exhibit where they just had a bunch of close-up pictures of like beetles and moths, a bunch of invertebrates. This is what it's like when you journey into the mind of a learna. If anyone's got some New Year's resolutions, that would be a very usual thing to do, right? On a New Year's Day. So I want to show you. Let's start with this. Here we go. Take a look at this. Alright, let's go ahead and let's put this music really down low in the back. Don't want it disturbing us too much. Look at these images here. On the left, we have a Mount Herman June bug. And on the right, we got an elderberry longhorn beetle. Let's see if we can get a little more information about these guys too. See if it's not going to work. Let's see here. Let's see. If I do it this way, will I be able to read it to you all? Let's see, let's see, let's see. We get closer to these guys. Look at that, we can get really close to them. Look at those details there. Pull them up. That's a bunch of fur. It looks like fur, don't it? But I bet you it's not. Let's see, what do we see here? Let's go ahead and zoom out. Again, let's go ahead and zoom in on the other guy. Look at this other guy. Antennas. Really, really long antennas. And these guys are small too. Look at the color on this. See, his actual size is right here. So it's 0.7 to 1 inches big. He's imperiled in Massachusetts. He's also in New Brunswick, Canada, this guy. Look how cute he is, though. He's a cute little guy. You can't stay mad at him. How could you stay mad at a guy like that? Okay. You just got a real big temper. Let's see here. Where, oh, where? Okay. All right, so let's take a deeper look into the Mount Hernon June beetle here. Let's get real close to him again. So his actual size is 0.8 inches. Wow. So they're small little guys, right? So that's a pretty powerful lens they got there. And he's endangered. This guy's endangered. Look at that. You can see his scientific name down here. Polyphylla barbata. That's a pretty cool name. Could be the name of a pirate on the bottom of a ship. On a ship on the bottom of the ocean. I don't know. But this guy is clearly not. So, the Mount Hernon June beetle. It's the sand here is near Santa Fe, California. They're home to a number of rare species, including the Mount Hernon June beetle we're looking at here. There in the sandy soil, they live only for a few weeks as adults. But as larvae, they grow for several years, mainly in underground burrows. This long lifespan and very narrow range, they are found nowhere else, and it makes the species quite vulnerable. So he's only in Santa Cruz, California. Okay. In 1997, the beetles were added to the U.S. Endangered Species List, which classifies certain species as endangered or threatened. An endangered species is at risk of extinction, while a threatened one may become endangered soon. Being placed on this list offers some special protections. Anyone owning property where the species lives must avoid doing anything that would harm the plant or animal and must obtain federal approval to develop the land. While these measures afford more protections than those we provide for most other insects, the beetles still contend with development and sand mining in and around their sandhill habitat. So he's endangered. This guy's endangered. All right, let's zoom out. All right, so let's take a closer look at the elderberry longhorn beetle on the right here. So to find this yellow and blue beetle, you need to head for a wet forest edge in the southeastern United States. or in southeastern Canada. Then you need to find the elderberry shrub, which has berries that ripen in late summer. Elderberry longhorn beetles are specialists. That means they rely just on this one host plant. Hence, that's why it's right in their name, elderberry longhorn beetle. So the larvae eat only elderberry wood. Okay. And the adult beetles gather pollen from flowers including elderberry and mate on or near the plants, and they may also gain toxicity by ingesting the plant, which can be toxic too. The fate of these insects is entwined with the populations of the plant it relies on. But as is common with many insects and plants, we don't know for certain how robust they are. In parts of the northeastern U.S., the beetles are declining, but elsewhere in their range, their status is unknown. For now, studies here and there bring a bit of positive news. Once officially endangered in Massachusetts, this beetle was removed from that state's list after a new survey located many more of the iridescent insects. So you can see his scientific name if you scroll a bit down. Desmoceras palliatus. All right. Interested, no? Let's see here. Um, all right, let's bring up the next bug then. So the next bug, let's look at some. There you go. I think you're all gonna like this one. Let's look at this. Look at this. We got the Florida least spur throat grasshopper on the top here. And then on the bottom, we got the northern bush katydid. Trying my best to say those words. Anyways. So here we go. Yeah. Can you all hear that desktop audio? For some reason, I feel like you can't hear the desktop audio. Hello. Can you hear the desktop audio though? All right, let's just go with it then. So let's go ahead and get a close-up of the Florida least spur-throat grasshopper. Look at this ugly guy right here. Long, 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 long antennas. Look at that. This guy's pretty hideous, right? Look at his back hind legs. Yeah, this guy here, man. Alrighty. So what can we learn about this guy? So what we know about him is his actual size is 0.4 to 0.8 inches. That means his status is vulnerable. You can see his scientific name is Milano plus pure. I don't even know why we try to say those names. But it says here, in environmental circles, Florida is less famous for tourism than for its distinctive ecosystems and wildlife. On the state's peninsula, dotted amid the sandhills and scrublands, you'll find this rare grasshopper. With very short wings, the species cannot fly, although many grasshoppers can. Instead, it walks or uses its strong back legs to leap through tawny grasses into sandy soil. Look at these long back legs. So you can see how they could hop. It says those legs are designed for hopping. Perhaps only about 50% of the Florida scrub lands remained intact. So for this and other closely related Melanoplus grasshoppers, habitat loss and fragmentation are a major threat. But there are bright spots, including a natural wildlife refuge, protecting portions of scrubland and sandhill habitats. The state is also creating an ambitious wildlife corridor to link its protected public lands to one another. If completed, the corridor will connect many millions of acres, including a buffer and a byway for the wild animals, including insects. How neat is that, right? Not very neat, you say? No, that's neat. It's... Alright. What about this other fellow, though? What do we know about the northern... Let's see, what's his name? Northern bush katydid. He's got some really long antennas, too. This guy, actual size is from 0.8 to 1.5 inches. Yeah. You can see how long his. So just looking at this guy, what do you think he's good at? He's got bigger wings. Look how big his wings are here. So look at compared to this guy's wings right here. Look at the wings right here, right? That's his wing. So this guy was not gonna. This guy can't fly, but he hops on his long legs. But this guy, if you look at him, look how large. This guy's got to fly, right? That's his wing right here. It looks like he could still hop too, right? This guy has much stronger hind legs. Look how big that top leg is compared to this guy's top leg. And they both, the legs they both have that ending. Where it kind of just goes out like that. So let's see. I bet you he's good for This guy's going to be a flyer. So starting in July, northern katydids use their wings to sing in the darkness. Okay, they use their wings to sing in the darkness. So these guys can sing. To lure mates, the males scrape together special structures on their forewings to create distinctive rasping calls. But in the day, they stay quiet, and these bright green insects closely related to crickets as well as grasshoppers and locusts fade into the trees, often oaks, avoiding the attention of birds and other hunters. At home in the eastern tier of the US and in southeastern Canada, northern katydids were once considered uncommon. But entomologists found the katydids could be lured from the treetops with lights and have identified more abundant populations. Still, the leaf-eating herbivores are vulnerable to decline from such causes as light pollution, habitat fragmentation, and pesticide use in both residential backyards and fields near forested lands. So it doesn't talk about them flying. It talks about they use their wings to sing. So those wings are musical instruments. All right. Let's see. Here's our next set. So on the left, we have the American Berrien beetle. And on the right, we have the saber-toothed longhorn beetle. These guys look very different. But let's look at the similarities on these two. They both got 6 legs, right? It looks like this guy has some wings. These might be wings too on the American Berrien beetle. Not sure, can't really tell, right? This guy's got a gigantic, looks like a mouth, right? His mouth looking pretty small. But they both have what appears to be antennas, right? Coming from their heads. So let's just get a closer look at the American Berrien beetle then right now. Take a look at his head. Look at that. Look at his teeth. You can't really see his teeth. I can't get any closer than that. But it looks like it's... They don't look like... Well, these are invertebrates, so they're clearly not bones, right? So that leaves the question: how do they eat and drink then? Can they chew? All right, let's look down. Look at this. Look at this. Like looks like hair follicles coming off his leg, right? So his scientific name is Necrophorus americanus. And it says his actual size here is 1.2 to 1.4 inches. So these are really small guys, right? His status is threatened. Let's kind of learn a bit more about the American burying beetle then. He's looking pretty. He's a pretty. Let's see. It's interesting because the little information about it starts off with the question: can small insects eat larger animals down to the bones? When it comes to American burying beetles, the answer is yes. So they just answered my question. How the heck do these invertebrates eat, right? It says this guy can eat an animal down to the bones. Like seriously, you know? Alright, so it says to feed offspring of male and female beetle, first find, prepare, and bury the carcass of a small mammal, bird, or reptile. Okay. The female lays her eggs near the carcass, and then, unusual for insects, they are attentive parents. Feed in the larvae regurgitated food from the carcass, as some other insect groups do. These gravediggers help the larger ecosystem by recycling decaying animals back into the soil. Okay. So they regurgitate to their young. So they were formerly widespread across eastern North America. The American burying beetles are down to tiny populations scattered in 8 U.S. states. To increase the beetles' numbers, biologists at the Roger Williams Zoo in Rhode Island and elsewhere now rear them in a laboratory. So the zoo biologists are working to restart a self-sustaining population on Nantucket Island, Massachusetts. And they recently provided burying beetles for a new population to researchers in New York State, where they hadn't been seen for more than 50 years. But they're grown in laboratories then. Wow. What about the saber-toothed longhorn beetle here on the right? Let's take a closer look at him. Look at that. That could definitely hurt in a battle with another animal, right? Those big ass incisors. Alrighty. Let's see here. Look at the color on his wings. Oh, and this guy can get, this is big. His size can get from 3.9 to 7 inches with his mandibles. So those are mandibles, right? Alright, so what do we know about this guy? So it says the saber-toothed longhorn beetles are quite beautiful, with intrinsic patterns on their elytra, the hardened forewings that resemble tree bark. So they resemble tree bark. So it could be like a camouflage type of factor, right? The wings there. It'd be hard to spot. I can see how that looks like tree bark, right? They are also really big, including the serrated jaws of males like this one. They can reach 7 inches long, making them one of the longest beetles in the world. Living in humid rainforests in the Amazon Living in humid rainforests in the Amazon River basin from Brazil west to Peru and Ecuador, these beetles are at a risk. In recent decades, millions of acres of Amazon rainforest have been cut down to make way for cattle ranches, soybean fields, and other uses. The beetles are also a collector's item. A single specimen can go for thousands of dollars. Indeed, the practice of collecting these long-lived beetles larvae spend several years feeding under the bark of a rainforest trees. It says, indeed, the practice of collecting these long-lived beetles larvae spend several years feeding under the bark of rainforest trees is another cause of their decline. Surprised for their striking appearance, the true value of these beetles is as part of the Amazonian ecosystem. So Amazon, these guys are from Amazon. How about that? Oh, wow. Take a look at this. The Louisiana-eyed silk moth. Wow. Okay. He looks like something out of Silence of the Lambs, right? Y'all seen that movie? So he's a moth. There's a moth in Silence of the Lambs. So let's take a peek at this guy. Let's get closer. Let's get closer to him. You see, he looks like he has these two big eyes, right? Let's take a close-up of his head. Look at his head here. Look at the size of those wings. So they got some great camera work going on here. Yeah. That guy's amazing, right? He's pretty amazing, right? Alright, so this is the Louisiana-eyed silk moth. So in the dark of night, across the Mississippi Delta and the eastern Gulf Coast of Texas, Louisiana-eyed silk moths rise from the marshes and take wing, looking for mates or a place to deposit their eggs. With flashing eye spots on their hind wings to scare off birds or other predators, the adults of this striking species live only for a few days. They do not eat, but instead live off abundant fat developed as a bright green caterpillars feeding on cordgrass and other plants. so this guy used to be a caterpillar. I think that's what that's saying. It says today these moths face pressures from many directions. The coastal marshes are disappearing and may take the caterpillars cordgrass with them. The reasons for the disappearance of this ecosystem are numerous. Erosion, land, it says land subsidence, whatever that means, as well as human-caused climate change, which intensifies flooding, hurricanes, and sea level rise. Oil spills and rice farming can also damage marsh ecosystems, while insecticides used to kill mosquitoes or other insects. Pests may harm these moths as well. So this guy's size can get from 2.5 to 3.5 inches. And he's imperiled. Louisiana-eyed silk moth. Look at these two. Okay, so on the left, it's a Puritan tagger beetle. And on the right, it's a coral pink sand dunes tagger beetles. So we got two tagger beetles right here. They both got 6 appendages. They both seem to have antennas. Let's get a close up. Look at that guy right there. He's pretty ugly looking, right? He's got a nice design on his back. Could give him camouflage on the tree bark, right? What about this other guy? The coral pink sands tagger beetle. Let's take a look at him. Look at that. He's a bit cuter. The blues and greens. Looking pretty cute there. Yeah. Alright, man. 2 tagger beetles. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's start with the guy on the left then. The Puritan tagger beetle. His size is 0.4 to 0.6 inches normally. It says these tagger beetles may be small, but with their very long legs and fierce jaws, they are fast and formidable hunters, running down insects and small crustaceans near the waters of the Chesapeake Bay and along the Connecticut River. Today, these predators are in severe decline, down to just a few remaining populations. Because their habitat includes popular beaches, their ground nests can be trampled or driven over by beachgoers. Along the Connecticut River, dams and modified shorelines have changed the natural river patterns that the beetles relied on. And extreme weather events due to climate change have made flooding more common and more severe than in the past. But a diverse team of students, volunteers, and federal and state biologists have been working on ways to help this species survive. At the University of Massachusetts Amherst, researchers learned to rear the larvae in a laboratory in order to make new populations. Releasing tiny animals into the wild is challenging, but for several years the team placed lab-reared larvae at several Connecticut river sites, and upon returning to those places in the summer of 2021, they found more Puritan tiger beetles than ever before. So again, they reared them in a laboratory, and then they released them back into the wild. Yeah, so they saved that guy from extinction, but they were bred in the laboratory and then put there. But it was a success. Okay. Good for the Puritan tiger beetle. Cincindella puritana. All right. What about the coral pink sand dunes tiger beetle? About this guy right here. Take a closer look at him. So this guy can get to 0.4 to 0.6 inches, but he's critically endangered. Coral pink sand dunes tiger beetle. So this colorful tiger beetle may look flashy, but in the pink sand dunes of its Utah habitat, its cream and green hues actually help the animal blend in. The cream forewings also help these beetles handle desert heat by reflecting rather than absorbing sunlight. In the dunes, these tiger beetles are predators. Note the insect's curved mandibles used to capture ants, flies, and other small prey. So the beetle's tiny range lies on public lands, and researchers and wildlife officials there have closely monitored them for years. In low rainfall years, they have found the beetle population fails or falls. So a decline that may only become steeper with climate change. A different type of risk comes from people driving off-road vehicles over the dunes. And to prevent the larvae and their burrows from being crushed, officials have set aside small conservation areas where the vehicles are now prohibited. So we're trying to save this guy too, right? Okay. Oh wait, there's more. Oh wait, there's more. Okay. Alrighty. These two are pretty ugly. Now, yeah, we're starting to get a bit uglier here now. Look at this. Nothing too pretty about these guys, right? So on the left, we got the Lord Howe Island stick insect. Then on the right, we got the Alpine longhorn beetle. So let's take a close-up look at the Lord Howe Island stick insect. Okay, this guy's pretty ugly, right? Look at this guy. Ugh. Ugh. That is one ugly mo. Ugh. Okay. So what do we know about this guy then? How big is this guy getting? So this guy is 4.3 to 7 inches long, and he's critically endangered. So glossy black and up to 7 inches long, the Lord Howe Island stick insect would seem hard to miss in the wild. But actually, stick insects blend in with their environment, with some resembling tree leaves, lichens, twigs, or sticks. For decades, people thought the stick insect species was extinct, found only on Lord Howe Island in the Tasman Sea between Australia and New Zealand. The species seemed to vanish, along with many others. But after a 1918 shipwreck brought predatory black rats to the island. But in 2001, a small population was discovered living on a tiny island nearby called Ball's Pyramid. So black rats are eating these guys, but they found them again. Today, they're researchers at zoos and museums in San Diego, California, Bristol, England, and in Melbourne, Australia, use mating pairs from the surviving population to laboratory rear the stick insects. The species may also soon be returned to Lord Howe Island in hopes of the insects can sustain themselves in the wild. So they keep trying to bring these guys back in laboratories. They have a mate in a laboratory, and then they go put them back. Yeah. Let's take a look at this other guy. Alpine longhorn beetle. Oh, this guy's going to be ugly. Look at him. Ugh. Black spots all over his back. Ugh. He's got these antennas go back. Got 6 legs. Yeah, those are some really long antennas compared to the stick beetle. Well, the stick beetle has long antennas, but they go towards the top, right? Where his antennas, they go, like fold over along his back. You know, when I see my parents hopped in the room over on Facebook. What's up, Mom and Dad? Happy New Year. Alrighty. So what do we know about this guy? This ugly, ugly guy here. I wouldn't call you something you're not. Alright, so this is the... So he's much smaller than the other guy. He's only 0.6 to 1.6 inches. And like we saw, his antennae are much longer than the body. Is a feature of beetles in the family of longhorns. So this is the family of longhorns. They have these really long antennas, right? They're actually longer than the body. That's a feature of longhorn beetles. Yeah. He's pretty ugly. But yeah, his antennas are super long. That's interesting. It's the family longhorn. Alright. To which this alpine longhorn beetle belongs, right? So their antennae, which are folded back in this photograph, but in life face forward and outward. Sense the beetle's surroundings, helping them find food and mates. Okay, so in this they're folded back for some reason, but if you were to catch this guy in real life, his antennas would be pointed towards the front. So he's a protected species in the EU. Alpine longhorn beetles live in open woodlands, often high in the mountains, but in parts of their range they have declined or disappeared, mainly because of human-caused fragmentation of their woodland habitat and clearing of the dead and decaying trees they require. So they live off the dead and decaying trees. The beetle's larvae live for several years inside tree limbs or tree trunks, digesting wood for nutrition. To develop the best methods to protect the beetles across Europe, researchers are monitoring remaining populations, training forest managers, and experimenting with ways to add decaying tree habitats to the forest for the beetles to live in. So they're rebuilding their habitat, trying to rebuild their habitat to get them back. Yeah. So trip to the Fernbank Museum. They had this on display there, right? Yes, I hope you all are really looking forward to bringing in the new year. All right, here's next up. We got the Christmas beetle on the left here. Pretty glossy. He's pretty cool looking. Green's a nice color, right? And then on the right, we got the thick-horned plant bug. All right, let's get a close-up of the Christmas beetle. Fit for the season, the Christmas beetle, right? Let's look at the top of him here. So he doesn't seem to have any. He's still got 6 legs, right? I think that must be a feature of all beetles, right? I don't know. I'm just guessing because all the bugs we've looked at least the beetles, they've had 6 legs. These look like arms though, right? Look at the top of this, like he could grab food with that, right? Look at those arms, Arnhem. Let's look at the other guy. So the other guy here, he is a thick-horned plant bug. Okay, so he's a thick-horned plant bug with the antennae, 6 legs, has like a red and black back, right? I want to learn about these guys, I really do. But I think I need to get a drink. I'll be right back, everyone. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. What's up, everyone? I'm back. Thank you for bearing with me through that break. I hope you all are getting ready for an awesome New Year's. 2025 is behind us. So here we are. Let's hop right back into it. We were looking at these Christmas beetles, right? So let's go and look at these Christmas beetle here on the left. And then we were checking out the thick-horned plant bug over here on the right? Okay, so let's get a closer look at the Christmas beetle. Look at that ugly critter. Alrighty. So what do we know about the Christmas beetle? What do we know about them? Anything at all? Alright, we know that the Christmas beetle is 1.1 to 1.5 inches big. So the summer starts in December in Australia, where these insects make their home. Known as king beetles or Christmas beetles, these scarab beetles glimmer and shine and were once commonly seen and heard swarming city streetlights and buzzing through the night during the holiday season. But while the beetles are said to be relatively widespread in rural areas, observers report these festive urban sightings are now much less frequent. So invertebrate researchers are collecting community science sightings to get a clearer picture of what's happening. They suspect that the main causes of decline in cities are drought and local habitat loss. Like moths and butterflies, bees, wasps, ants, and flies, beetles undergo complete metamorphosis, changing as they grow from young larvae into adults. Their diet changes too. When young, they feed on underground roots, while the adults fly to eucalyptus leaves. I know I'm saying that wrong. I know someone out there knows how to say that. Near big cities, however, these food sources have been paved over or cut down. The Christmas beetle. Right there, there he is. Shimmering. Yeah. Okay. So what about his counterpart, the thick-horned plant bug? Let's go ahead. What do we know about him? Look at this guy. He a hideous mofo, right? He's pretty hideous. Alright, so this is this guy is really, really small. His actual size is only 0.2 inches. So while many of us refer to all insects as bugs, the entomologists, only a select group are true bugs. True bugs suck out fluids from their food sources, whether insects, vertebrates, or plants, using piercing straw-like mouth parts. Small and quite delicate, plant bugs like this one make up the largest family Meridae within the tree bug group. The true bug group. Okay? So this guy's a buggy bug. The bug. Alright, with a small, patchy distribution in the western U.S. and Canada. Thickhorn plant bugs feed only on wild currant shrubs. Researchers have found that a majority of plant bugs included in this one rely on just one or two host plants. For these specialists, climate change poses particular threats. If higher temperatures or change in precipitation patterns push the insects' favored plants further north, or the plants otherwise decline, these insects will also decline. Small population sizes also put the species at risk. Yeah. Look at that guy. Look at him. Oh. He's small, though. You squash him like a bug. So, you may want to just not do that. Don't squash him like a bug, okay? Anyways. Alright, the next insect, next beetle or bug or moth on the list. The next one. Who do we got coming up next? This guy's pretty special looking. Looks like we got a moth. Check out the moth. Yep. So this is the lesser wasp moth. Close up of his face. Yeah, look at that. His body. Got some furry back feet here. Oh, you know, some type of follicles on his legs. Look at that. So what do we know about him, you ask? I was hoping you'd ask that question. What do we know about him? So how big does this guy get? This guy's wingspan is anywhere from 1.2 to 1.4 inches. And his status is vulnerable. Okay, so the lesser wasp moth. If you see one of these insects flying in southern Florida and parts of the Caribbean, you might mistake it for a stinging wasp. It's a day flying moth that looks, flies, and acts like a wasp, which is a great defense against natural predators. Its vivid colors also advertise its toxicity. Okay? But no visual display will protect the moth from human activities that now threaten this species. Insecticides for mosquitoes and crop pests are systematically sprayed in areas near where they live, and even limited use may harm these and other insects. Invasive plants may crowd out the moth's favored host plants. on which they lay eggs and feed as larvae. One potentially bright spot is that some of the rocky habitat where the lesser wasp moth lives is within the protected Everglades National Park in Florida. Preserved lands might seem idle habitats for conserving vulnerable species, but fertilizer runoff and pesticide drift from nearby farms can spread, sometimes harming wildlife within a park's boundaries. So those pesticides, man, you gotta be careful what pesticides you got going on, right? Hmm. Any other bugs on our list we want to check out before we bring in this new year? I think I saw somewhere an ad where Carl de Linden, Merchant, and Lord Gromulus are going live tonight. I'm gonna have to hop over there for my New Year's Eve, my New Year's get together. All right. Carl's always doing something fun over there. I think this might be our last bug. I think that's it. I do believe that is our last bug. Alrighty, everyone. That was cool looking at the bugs. Don't you think so? Share some of my findings from the visit to the visit from Fern Bank Museum. But I do want to move on to the next thing I wanted to talk about. Let me ask you all: what did you eat for Christmas this year? Do y'all take ham, or do y'all take turkey? We actually this year we had ham for Christmas. And then we always have turkey for Thanksgiving, but if you are partaking in festivities like that and you are eating a turkey, do you know what a turkey is related to? And I do need to give a shout out to Twitch channel Paleontologizing for this next little thing I want to talk about, because he is the one who brought it to my attention. So I really appreciate that. Let's see, what do I want to show you here at this point? So your turkey. let's go ahead and take a transition now over to your turkey. So if you did have a turkey for Christmas, let's take a look at it. Here it is here. So this is why I was thanking Danny Anduza from the Twitch channel Paleontologizing, because this is actually a pamphlet that he, I should say a flyer that he passes out to his chat. Gives you access to download it. Yeah, so what this flyer is telling us is that your turkey is a dinosaur. And Danny Anduza, who runs that channel, Paleontologizing, put this flyer together. I just wanted to kind of take a look at it and see what we could find. But let's make it a little bigger if you wanted. Like I said, I want to give credit's due, right? So here's the general thing about this, right? And here's Paleontologizing's Twitch channel right here too, right? So your turkey is a dinosaur because it evolved from dinosaurs. And that's how it inherited all these cool dinosaurian traits, right? So we're going to take a look at this flyer that Danny Anduza put together and just see what we could learn about turkeys and how they're related to dinosaurs. And again, I definitely encourage you all to check out his Twitch channel over there, Paleontologizing. If you want to scan this now, please go ahead and scan that too, right? So again, big shout out to Danny Anduza over at Paleontologizing for handing out this flyer to his viewers like me, right? All right, so let's just take a look at the flyer. See, so this one in the front is the turkey, right? And then the one in the back is the dinosaur, right? So I think what this flyer is going to do is just basically let us compare the two structures, see what's similar and what's different about a turkey and a dinosaur, right? What makes your turkey a dinosaur? How is your turkey related to a dinosaur? So let's go ahead and look at the top of it, right? So let's see what it says here. It says, no joke, your holiday turkey is a dinosaur. Nearly all of the features which make birds unique among today's animals, everything from their specialized lungs to their marvelous feathers, are actually just evolutionary hand-me-downs from their theropod dinosaur ancestors. Right. So you see it's a very particular type of dinosaur, right? It says theropod dinosaur ancestors. So let's see, number one, let's see what number one is. So if you look at number one, it says lightweight bones, right? So more than 230 million years ago, the earliest dinosaurs already had hollow vertebrae and limb bones. Weight-saving measures which birds would later co-adopt for flight. Yeah, so lightweight bones, right? So those are weight-saving measures for the dinosaurs, right? They were so gigantic, so their light bones, that's what their light bones were good for, right? But as a turkey, it gave them the ability, it's part of how they can fly, right? That's what this little note is indicating to me, right? So let's see what Danny says for number two here, right? He says number two, a bipedal stance. So So let's see what that says. It says bipedal stance. The first dinosaurs also walked on two legs, holding their thigh bones at a 90-degree angle to the hip socket. Okay, yeah. 90-degree angle. Yeah, so they're upright, right? Two legs. Today, many of their bird descendants are still capable of swift running thanks to this unique arrangement. There you go, right? What does it say up here? So it says some of those inherited dinosaur traits are plainly visible in your turkey skeleton. So that's what we're looking at, right? And now, of course, this is his cheat sheet that he made for us. You can learn what paleontologists have discovered about your turkey's Dinosaurian pedigree, right? So number 3 says upper arm. Let's just resize this so I can see. I want to see the picture again. So we got bipedal stance, right? Light bones. And then number 3 is saying upper arm, right? So let's check out the upper arm. So the flapping motion of birds' wings requires attachment points for large arm muscles. These enlarged deltopectal crests are already present in the oldest dinosaur fossils we've yet found. All right, so we found those within the dinosaur fossils is what Danny's telling us here, right? Also in birds, right? They got those large upper arms. This picture is a Velociraptor mongoliensis from the late Cretaceous in Mongolia. Right? Yeah, so there's 2 is legs. 3 is arms, right? So 4, what is this? 4. What is 4? Hip structure. Number 4, the hip structure. Right? So a backward pointed public bone is characteristic of Maniraptorians like Velociraptor. And also modern birds. It's still unclear when this orientation first evolved, but some fragmentary fossils hint that it may have been as early as 200 million years ago. So it's a backward pointed pubic bone. And then right here we see the 3-digit hand too, right? So number 5 is the 3-digit hand. So these are his hands right here, right? And then the hand on a turkey too, right? So 5, the hand. 4 was the pubic bone. 5 is the hand. So look at the hand on that turkey. And look at the hand on the Velociraptor. Let's see what it says about the 3-digit hand. They say they both have 3 digits. So although the earliest dinosaurs had 5 fingers, by about 170 million years ago, one group of meat eaters had reduced this to just 3 fingers on each hand. Birds inherited this tridactyl pattern, although their fingers are now fused together. So it's still a tridactyl pattern, but on birds you're going to see they're fused together, right? On the dinosaur, this is a dinosaur hand. You can see clearly there's 3, right? But on the turkey, looks like there's 2, right? But there's a 3rd digit. Looks like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But that's what it says right there. Okay. Number 6. What's number 6? Oh. We already did number 6. Okay, number 7. We're doing number 8. Okay, so number 8. Look at that. Look at it. It looks like it's a wishbone. That looks like the wishbone of the turkey, right? Number 8. It looks like, if you look at this picture, this looks like there's a wishbone looking. Yeah. What's number 8? There it is, number 8. We were right? The wishbone. Comprised of fused collarbones, the furcula or wishbone is a crucial anchor point for the flight muscles of today's birds. This structure first appears in the dinosaur Caeolophysis around 220 million years ago, making it an early evolved trait in theropods. Wow. Okay. That's number 8. Is that the last trait? I think number 8 is the last trait, but I feel like we overlooked something. I guess we overlooked number 6. Because number 6 is not... Oh, number 6... Okay. Number 6 is back here, but number 6 says feathers. Oh, number 4 was the pubic bone. So number 4 was the pubic bone. Number 6 was feathers. So let's see what it... So birds and dinosaurs both had feathers too, right? So we still don't know exactly when dinosaurs first evolved feathers, but it was probably early in their history, as several dinosaurs from opposite ends of the family tree have been found with feather-like filaments. Among the earliest fossils of complex veined feathers are those of Anconus from about 160 million years ago, and later dinosaurs such as Velociraptor also sported similar feathers. So that's pretty neat, right? Again, I like checking out Paleontologizing stream. This is something that he provided his chat. I just wanted to share it with y'all. So if you haven't checked out Danny and Doozle's channel, Paleontologizing, I will see you in the chat over there. I do a lot of working, but so there you go. Let's see. We got to do a New Year's countdown, right? Do we got to do that? Or should we go hang out with Carl DeLinden at Forest of Wires? Let's see here. Anyways, I feel like we got some time. Maybe we could play a game together. Um, yeah, I feel like I want to play a game because we've been talking about dinosaurs and science. Maybe I want to stay on that theme for New Year's Eve here. Um, what do you think we should do? We could. Let me see. I'm curious what's going on out there. Um, and actually, Danny and Zula's on right now. Yeah, man. We got Mr. Danny and Duza on. Just curious who's on right now. You know what? Definitely some science communicators aren't out there. And you think I might just be messing around a lot, right? It's like I've abandoned my quest for Wasvek, right? I don't want you to think I've abandoned my quest for Wasvek, right? That is on the age-old New Year's resolution list. We will find Wasvek in 2026. I guarantee you that. We will find Wasvek. Um, so let's see. All right, I'm gonna play a video game. I think I am gonna play. Let's see if you can see this. Can you see this? Jurassic World Evolution 2. I think I'm just gonna play that for a little bit. Um, I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Um, so maybe I gotta come back. Let me get this set up. Let me get a Jurassic World Evolution 2 set up. Um, and then we can bring in the New Year's that way, right? Um, yeah. Um, we got Mary's Milk Monsters on too. Look, I got Mary's. I got a shirt from her. Did y'all see this? You can't really see it. I know I'm very see through. But look, I got the Chaos King shirt from Mary's Milk Monsters. So We got a party on the interwebs. We got a party. Okay. So New Year's resolutions, find Wasvik. And let's go ahead and I'll be right back. I'm going to get a Jurassic World set up. So go ahead and let me go. I'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Okay. So let's go ahead and try out Jurassic World Evolution 2. See how it is, okay? Here we go. Get this up and going, up and ready. And let's see what this game is like, shall we? Let's jump right into it. Look at that. So there's already a Jurassic World Evolution 3. Fix this. There you go. Alrighty. So set up the brightness here. Turn it right. There you go. Leave it about like that. We want subtitles. I don't think we need subtitles. Name set up. I don't know, let's just leave it this way. See how it goes. Okay. We've got story mode. Immerse yourself in the compelling and original story set after the earth-shattering events of Jurassic World. Falling Kingdom and leading towards the monumental events of Jurassic World. Chaos Theory mode. I don't know, let's just go with the campaign then. Alright, we'll do with that.
Jurassic World. This is where our story begins. A scientific breakthrough without any consideration of the consequences. So nature did what it does and unleashed chaos. This time we were deeper into the illusion of control, and the chaos brought something much worse. And for a moment, we remembered how precious life is. Time has a funny way of softening our memory of what it's like to lose control. And ambition is a persistent thing. For the dinosaurs left behind, time was becoming immaterial. From miracles of science to assets destined for exploitation. Perhaps it's time we reflect on the true nature of nature. An endless cycle with one goal: survival. And this means that dinosaurs and humanity have to find a way to work out their differences.
Okay, so we're in Arizona.
To us, a desert is a wasteland devoid of anything but the most extreme examples of life. But creatures once thrived in these lands hundreds of millions of years ago. Given the geological history that we're dealing with, dinosaurs walking among the tumbleweeds isn't that much of a stretch. The current situation, where dinosaurs are running wild, is untenable to those in charge, well, those that think they're in charge. So we're left with a problem or an opportunity. This is where you come in. They've ignored my warnings before, but maybe this time with you, it's going to be different. I'm willing to embrace the uncertainty.
Okay, I guess an introduction is in order. I'm Cabot Finch, Assistant Director of the U.S. Department of Fish and Wildlife. I know it sounds important, because it is, but let's not get bogged down in labels and titles and organizational flowcharts. I'll make this easy. You work for me. See, nothing to it. You'll be working with the experts. This is Claire Deering and Owen Grady.
And yes, we have first-hand experience with the dinosaurs. I'm the former operations manager at Jurassic World. Owen and I actually helped build the park. And unfortunately, we were there to witness its destruction. And this is Owen. He works with velociraptors.
You could call me a dinosaur wrangler, though officially I'm an animal behaviorist. I was just building a level of trust with them when this happens.
Okay, so we'll need to get a few things in place ASAP. Start with a response facility, equipped with both a Ranger Team 4x4
And a capture team helicopter.
Alright, so we need a response facility. Ranger teams monitor dinosaur welfare and make park repairs. The capture team tranquilizes dinosaurs ready for relocation. So where do we want to build that?
We are making excellent progress, so let's stay focused. Next step, building a backup generator. Then feeding the energy it creates to the response facility. And also make sure the building is connected to the path network. It only does us good if it's operational.
Okay, so we got our response facility, power. Now we need a path. Is that good enough? Good enough or no? I don't think that's good enough. This is not working for some reason. It don't work. Darn it, how do you destroy a path? I need to destroy a path now. How do I destroy it? Um, I don't know why it's not connected. Why did it think it's not connected? It's connected. Why is it not connected anything? I don't know, man. I'm already stuck on this game. All I have to do is connect the response facility to that. But guess what? I can't do it. Let's see. Um, why is there not a path right there? Um, oh my goodness. Let's see here. What do I gotta do? Wow, that's all I had to do.
Hey, Claire. We may have trouble tracking this dinosaur from the ground, and even more trouble if we're lucky enough to find it.
Then the sensible thing is to take a capture team helicopter. You can track it from the air.
See? I like the way I think.
Let's see. So capture teams. Locate priority dinosaurs in the surrounding area by using compass at the top of the screen. Approach the dinosaur and then use the triangle to switch to aim mode. While in aim mode, use the R to fire tranquilization darts. Okay. Where are those dinosaurs? Dinosaur right down there we gotta get. Here we go. I missed him. Go. Get him. Did I get him? I missed again? Alright, got him. Got him. Missed them? Is that not enough bullets to make them? That should be enough to get them down, right? There you go. Got them down.
Claire, this is Owen.
I copy you.
We have it. Capture successful.
I knew you'd do it. Never had a doubt.
Really?
Well, maybe one or two.
Well, it's better than usual. I'll take it. Now, where do we take this dinosaur?
Have the enclosure. We just need you to deliver.
Hey, don't I always? Wait, you don't have to answer that.
Oh wait, we want to bring him back over here. Transport. Oh, great. Where is he? Just great. Now I gotta find him again. Go swimming? We can go swimming. There's the helicopter over there. How do we get to the helicopter? Where's he at? right there. Right there. So we want to deliver him. Gotta flare it. So we want to deliver him to our facility. You think he'd like to be in the water? We should just put him in the water.
Asset requiring collection.
There we go. So you can pause or slow down time using time controls. Alrighty. Alright, so where is he?
John Hammond was concerned about what would happen if dinosaurs lived in the wild. It adds a whole new level of challenge, and perhaps opportunity. Transportation underway.
There you go. Safely transported him.
Confirming asset delivery.
He's okay now. We have a...
I instantly recognize this dinosaur. Kinda hard to forget once you've been trapped in a room with one. We couldn't save that baryonyx, but we can certainly help this one. There's not a lot out there for the dinosaur to consume, so we'll need a feeder inside the perimeter of that enclosure.
Hungry dinosaurs make me nervous.
Can't disagree with you there.
Alright, what's this statistics like? So he's Bry 001. You want to rename him? What do you want to name him? You rename him. Let's name him. Let's name him Bobo. That's Bobo. Okay. Bobo. Okay. Bobo's gonna be just fine. Ain't that right, Bobo? Okay. So now we need to place a feeder down. That might be it. So I think we just need a feeder. Requires shallow water.
Good to go on this end.
Copy. Okay. We need to get a full assessment of the dinosaur's health. Utilize a ranger team vehicle. Owen will help you get a status of the animal's overall welfare. Then we can plan our next move.
We really need that? A plan? I mean, I've always been more of a just make it up as I go kind of guy.
Tell you what, if this doesn't work, we'll try your way.
That sort of sounds like a plan.
It's a plan, all right. So we gotta do a status check with our rangers. Construct ranger posts inside your enclosure so they cover all your species. Ranger teams can then be assigned to patrol ranger posts and will periodically status check all dinosaurs in range. Okay, well here we go. We gotta give him his little status check. How's he look, fellas?
Check complete. While we can't replicate what we had on the islands, we still have to do what we can to get the dinosaurs more comfortable with their current surroundings here in Arizona.
Sunscreen and drinks by the pool? How's that sound?
Are you seriously asking? Or pretend asking?
Okay, Claire, how about we add some preferred terrain to their pens instead? Better?
Wow, you're getting mean now. Where's he going? You don't need to leave, okay? Get back here. Why the heck are you leaving? Can't have you leaving, okay? La 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 la. That way. Aim mode. Look. He likes to play with that. You play with it, boy. Be a good Bobo and just play. See, Bobo, you should play. His comfort's still at 78, though. He doesn't seem to be any happier, Bobo. Go to eat the flare over there. It's cool, right? That's fun stuff. It's not making him any happier, though, is it? So how do you make this guy happy? That's his theater. Why does this say missing rock? What the heck does that mean? Missing rock? Oh, what? Why would you do that, Bobo the Clown? Somehow Bobo did that. Fuck, Bobo. Why is Bobo like that? You a mean Bobo, the Bobo boy. Oh, he's a mean Bobo boy. Look how mean he is. He was chasing after me. Bobo. Oh, Bobo, what are you doing? What? My ranger team is destroyed. Bobo, what's wrong with you, Bobo the boy? How do you make the guy happy, though? I just don't know why it says missing rock. Well, I got another team. Oh, this is lagoon stuff. This ain't no lagoon though. What is that? I don't even know what that is. What is that? You see that'll make Bobo happy? Should make him a bit happier, right? I don't know, Bobo, is he happy yet? Might not be very happy. Is he happy or no? happy. His comfort is still 78. How do you make him happy? I don't know. He seems like a pretty happy fella. Areas around popular buildings will likely become congested with guests. I put it on here the wrong way. It's on the wrong way because they're looking at no dinosaur at all right now. Okay, I put it there wrong. And I don't know how to connect the road to it. Clearly, there's something going on with the roads in this game that I just don't get. I don't know. And how the heck do you get that dinosaur happy? I don't know. I think I might be giving up on this game though, because all right, I can't figure out this game though. I think that's gonna be it. If I could raid out, I'd be raiding out to Force of Wires right now. But since I can't, let's go ahead and instead, let's see. Okay. Let's get this camera fixed. All right, everyone. It was a fun time. I don't know about this Jurassic World Evolution 2 working out, though. I just couldn't get that down. But yeah, I might go hang out at a Force of Wires chat for a little bit. It's like he's got a concert going on. Carl the Merchant. So maybe I'll see you all over there. I will see you all next year. Happy New Year. Bye bye, everyone. Have fun. Take care. Awesome time. See y'all.